Greetings, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. People are always doing questionable things, and doing things that impact others in big ways, which lead them to come to Reddit to ask for the opinion of, did I fuck up? Am I the asshole? And everyone likes to give their input, including me. I love reading about people's experiences and then deciding if they are the bad person or not in that situation. And I know that you all do too. So today we are going to go through and look at some Am I the Asshole posts and decide for ourselves, are they the asshole? But before we get into it, I would like to say a massive thank you to today's patron of the day, Kat. I appreciate you and your support so much, so thank you so much for joining. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if anyone else would like to become a patron, go to patreon.com/savvycat, click the top link in the description. Starts at as little as £1 a month, and anything helps and means a lot. So thank you, and let's get into some, I was about to say let's get into some assholes, but that's not what I meant. But you know, I'm gonna roll with it. Let's get into it. When I was planning this video, it didn't actually start as an Am I the Asshole video. It started with Am I the Ex? So not all of these are from the Am I the Asshole Reddit, but it moved there. So it's a bit of a combination of things, but the general vibe stays the same. And I'm still gonna be determining whether they're the asshole or not. So, my 23 male girlfriend, 22 female, wants me to cut off my friend, 24 female. Are there other ways to reconcile? Hey Reddit, I messed up big time, unfortunately. My girlfriend Ellie and I have been together 8 months, and we have a great relationship. It's my first post-college relationship, and I love her so much. I've been friends with Kayla for years. She was my first friend that I made in college. She is probably one of my closest friends. Kayla is amazing. We have the same sense of humor, and everything we watch a lot of the same shows, and I talk to her almost as much as I talk to my girlfriend. Ellie's birthday was a few weeks ago. She threw herself a moderately sized party, and I did pay for everything. I asked if I can bring one of my friends, and she said yes. Just try not to bring all of your friends. So I brought Kayla. My girlfriend said that's fine, as she gets along with Kayla. Unfortunately, at the party, Kayla and I got wasted. Somehow, Kayla and I ended up making out in the corner and everyone saw. My girlfriend understandably freaked out and was crying, and the party basically ended after that. She kicked everyone out besides her best friend and her brother. I tried to explain, but she was not hearing it. She ignored all my phone calls. Yeah, very valid. Completely valid end to that. Kicking everyone out and then ignoring your calls? Yeah, fair enough. The next day, she texted me, I need some time to process everything. Don't call or text me. If you try to bother me before I'm ready, we're done. And then he replied, I understand I don't have to keep saying it in my voicemails, but I feel so fucking terrible and I'm sorry I embarrassed you. I love you so much and you mean the world to me. She doesn't reply, and then hours later, texts me, I want to clarify during this break that does not give you the right to fuck anyone else, flirt, unshare your location, etc. If you so much as give another person your number, we are fucking done. He replied, you didn't have to clarify that. I don't want you to think I'm a cheater. I've never cheated on you or anyone else. You literally cheated on her yesterday. I've never cheated. Yes, you fucking have. You just did. I just got so fucking drunk last night. You know that was out of character for me. She doesn't reply, but she dislikes the message. A couple weeks go by, and today she calls me even though I'm at work. I go to my car to talk to her, and here's a paraphrase of what she says. She says she thought about it for a few weeks, and unfortunately she loves me. She said, up until now, I've been a great boyfriend, but if we're gonna work through this, we're doing it her way, no negotiations. All the stuff she named was mostly reasonable. The only thing is, she said I have to completely cut off Kayla and block her on everything. On my phone, on Instagram, Twitter. I am to no longer have contact with her. I think that's super unreasonable because we were drunk and not our normal selves. The thing is, when I bring up my concerns, Ellie says this is not a negotiation. She said take it or leave it. She's given me until tonight to decide, but how do I make her more open? I don't think the punishment fits the crime of one drunken kiss when we were hammered. We didn't have sex or anything. Edit. We broke up. I called her and let her know that I can't cut off my friendship with Kayla. I tried to explain that I'm willing to go to counseling, and she said that she will not stay with me if I continue my friendship with her. I repeated that I won't cut off Kayla, and she said, you know what? Go to hell. See, I'm usually not one to encourage like ultimatums and cutting friends off and things like that, but I think in this instance, it's a reasonable request. Because, like, you do kind of have to choose in this situation because it seems like you have feelings for Kayla. It seems like that's where you want to be. You want to be with Kayla, or you wouldn't have made out with her when you were drunk and your girlfriend was right there. So I think it's reasonable for her to be like, you're either with me or you were with her. You can't be in a relationship with her while like keeping Kayla there as sort of an option, or as like, you know, if she ever reciprocates the feelings, you'll like dump your girlfriend for her. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be doing that. I think, and this is like the only instance in which someone being like, you can't be friends with that person anymore is like kind of a valid thing to do. And the fact that like you didn't see anything really wrong with that, or that didn't seem like a fair thing. Like, you made out with her at your girlfriend's birthday party and then we're like, but I really love you. If you did, you wouldn't have made out with your friend at her party too. Not even your own party, not some random your girlfriend's birthday party. You make out with another girl in the corner, bro. I think that like ultimately, if I was Ellie, I just wouldn't have given you the option to remove Kayla from your life. I would have just been like, no, that's it. That's me done. Not worth it. Especially if you're only 8 months into the relationship. Like, that's a decent amount of time, but like, I'm not wasting any more time with that. Yeah, you're definitely the asshole in this situation. I know that question was not asked, but I am answering it anyway. Definitely the asshole. Definitely shouldn't have done that, and you definitely deserve to feel bad about that and be dumped over it completely. Am I the asshole for making an insensitive comment about my wife's dress? Probably. I don't see any way where this could spin for you to not be the asshole. The situation has made me conflicted. I've been torn apart between trusting in myself or my wife, and I just need second opinions on the whole ordeal. My wife and I'll call her Sasha, have been married for 2 years now. We've never had issues or arguments until now. Some necessary background: I come from a wealthier family who has always had an upper class mindset to everything, whereas Sasha's had more of a financially difficult upbringing. Nevertheless, this has never seemed to be an issue until now. Every year, my father does a big thing for his birthday, which includes him renting out a yacht and inviting basically everyone he knows. Sasha and I hadn't gone last year since we were out of town, but this will be her first year attending. When I was going over the gifts we would be bringing and what we would need to wear, Sasha said I didn't need to bother picking her outfit as she would be wearing a dress that's special to her. This dress is honestly hideous and couldn't have cost her more than $20, but she's insistent on wearing it since apparently her father, who died 6 years ago, bought it for her, and she's been waiting for the perfect occasion to wear it, and for some reason thinks my dad's luxurious party is a good time. Now, as I said before, my family is on the wealthier side. They already had been hesitant on me and Sasha's marriage, as I was basically together with someone with no class or status whatsoever, so they already had to work extra hard to make sure it seemed like she belonged on my side of the family. At first, I asked her politely to wear a different dress, but when it seemed she wouldn't budge, my irritation overtook me and I blew up at her, basically telling her that the dress was unacceptable in every situation possible and that my family would never take her seriously in some goodwill looking trash. I guess this struck a nerve. No fucking shit, bro. I guess it struck a nerve. Really shocking that. Because she stormed off to her sister's house and hasn't been back since. I have no idea what to do here. I've been thinking I might just go to the party alone and save myself the embarrassment and hassle, but I'm not too sure if I was harsh. On Sasha. The party's in a couple days and she won't answer my calls. I am obsessed with, I'm not too sure if I was harsh on her. You're not sure if you were harsh on her? You said those things to her. You said that her dress, that is a special dress from her father, was unacceptable for every occasion, and that it was goodwill looking trash, and you're asking if it was too harsh? Bro, if you don't think that's harsh, what is your definition of harsh? Because I don't think I want to know. I don't want to see you being harsh if that in your mind isn't. That's astounding. I cannot imagine, like, why does it matter that much? You know what I mean? Like, I get that there is like a formality to events. It's like black tie, you have to dress nice, you have to dress up or whatever. I don't know what this dress looks like, but like, if it is special to her and she thinks it fits that category, then she should be allowed to wear that. And if other people are unhappy with that, then that's on their own shoulders that's on their own classism issues, and you should be on her side defending her for that. Or if you think that it's like inappropriate to wear to the event, I don't really have a solution for that. I don't think you should really think it's inappropriate to wear to the event. If it is a special dress that is like made for formal events, then I think she probably knows what it's for. And if it is special and a formal dress, regardless of whether it fits your taste or not, you should support her in that and not call something special to her trash and that it's inappropriate for every occasion. If you think it's going to be a problem at this event, you can have that conversation with her and be like, prepare her for what your parents might say. Be like, I understand the dress is special to you. I just want you to know that my parents fucking suck and they're classist and elitist and might make comments. Just be prepared for it. Like, that's all you have to do. You have to warn her that like it's special, you're happy for her to wear it, but people might look, they might say things. And if that's going to make her uncomfortable, you plan a different event and are like, let's go out to the fucking theater and you can wear it there. I don't know. Come up with an alternate plan as long as she is prepared to be talked down to because your family sucks. But seemingly, so do you. So, you know, like if you, her husband, are saying that to her, I'm terrified for what your family would say to her. My God, you are absolutely the asshole in this situation. And honestly, I don't know if you can come back from that. Like, it's like, it's not actually that small of a thing. Like, that's kind of like a straw that breaks the camel's back kind of moment, if you ask me. Because, Jesus Christ, that's just horrible. Am I the asshole for telling my father? I do know about that. I, female 28, am a wildlife biologist. I have a master's degree in wildlife conservation, and I'm hoping for my doctorate soon. I have worked in this field since I was 16 and am very passionate about it. When visiting my family recently for Easter, my mom asked me to tell the family a little bit about work. I was very excited to talk about my current research. Here's where the issue comes in though. My father, male 60, would respond to almost everything I said with, I don't know about that. At first I tried to ignore it, but it just didn't stop. Eventually I responded, well, I do, given the 2 degrees and all. I responded in a light, playful tone, but he did not take it well at all. He immediately accused me of being disrespectful. I responded, I'm sorry, but it's disrespectful of you to insinuate that you know more than I do about my field. Dinner got pretty quiet after that. I finished the meal, helped with the dishes, and said goodbye before leaving. But on the ride home, I got a call from my mother asking me why I felt the need to aggravate my father and why I had to talk back. I am a 28-year-old professional. This feels insane to me. Am I the asshole? Feels insane to you because it is. Like, it's your dad sitting there and being like, I'm not sure about that. I don't know. While you've been prompted to talk about your work, sharing your research that you like do know about, and him being like, but me, a 60-year-old man who knows nothing about this, isn't so sure because clearly my opinion means more. You're just a 28-year-old child. You're younger than me. You're a woman. You're my child. I don't know if I trust you entirely. Me, 60-year-old man, I think that I'm not too sure, and I don't believe your word for it. I'm gonna have to go look at a research paper done by someone other than you, because like, why would I believe your word? And then your mom calling and being like, why did you have to snap back? Why did you talk back? He was the one being rude. Why did he have to talk back? Why didn't he just shut up and listen? You were asked to talk about your work, and then when you did, and your dad's like, talking back the whole time, being rude, and then you get in trouble? That would make me so mad. That makes me so mad. The way your dad the way he got away with that, and then you got in trouble, pisses me off beyond belief. That's fucking frustrating as all hell. That's so annoying. That's like mansplaining, but like almost worse. You know? Am I the asshole for refusing to wear a bra when my roomie's boyfriend stays over? No. Straight up, before I read the post, no, you are not. I don't wear a bra at home. I go to college, then library, then work, then gym. I'm out at 7 a.m. and back at 10 p.m. Usually I take a quick shower when I get home, then make a snack and just relax for an hour before bedtime. On weekends, I barely leave the apartment beside the occasional outing with friends or colleagues. My roommate and I are very close, but now she has been biting my head off about me not wearing a bra at home. I was confused. Then she explained that it was about her boyfriend. I laughed in her face and told her to put a bra on his eyes instead. She got very upset, but I told her that I wasn't interested in her boyfriend. Not in the slightest. She got offended and said that he wasn't interested in me either. So I said, then why are we arguing? It is only an issue if we were interested in each other. Tell him the next time he sees me braless, he can pretend that I am a wall. According to her, it wasn't about interest, but being invasive, and he felt uncomfortable. Would you think that it was fine if he showed his D? I called her stupid because I was in my home. I wouldn't go braless in his home, and if he chose to go naked in his home, the only right I have is to get the hell out of there. She called me the asshole. Am I? You are not the asshole, even a little bit. I do not understand this at all, especially because I'm even considering, like, is braless with or without a top on? Doesn't really even matter either way, but usually in these situations, they're even talking about, like, no bra under a shirt. And in which case it matters even less because, like, you don't have to wear a bra on your shirt ever. I never wear bras ever. They're uncomfortable and unnecessary. Why would I wear a bra? If you can see nipples through a shirt, oh no, oh dear, I have nipples. We all do. Pretty much, most of us do. It's like, get over it, you know? Like, you shouldn't be aroused by nipples. And even if it's just completely shirtless, which I don't think it is because I feel like otherwise it would have specified shirtless, still doesn't matter. There is nothing inherently sexual about nudity or the human body at all. Like, boobs especially are not even like a sexual organ. It's just like, they're there. We've sexualized them, but they themselves are not sexual, especially outside of like sexual context. You know what I mean? And again, her house, you can do what you want. You can be fully fucking naked if you want to. And if he's uncomfortable with it, again, look at you like you're a wall. Move out of the room. Like, he doesn't have to be there. It's not his house. You can do what you want, really, as long as you're not harming anyone. And I don't get, like, why is he uncomfortable? He's uncomfortable that you're braless. Again, like, he doesn't have to look. Why is that uncomfortable? Why is it uncomfortable that women have bodies? I don't understand at all. It's like, you wouldn't be comfortable if he was showing his dick. Well, firstly, that's not even the same thing. Genitals and breasts, not the same thing. They are not the same at all. And as you said, being like, if it's in his own home, he can be fucking stark naked. And if I'm uncomfortable with that, I just won't go. Fair enough response. Honestly, yeah. Nudity, not sexual outside of sexual context. Bodies, not sexual outside of sexual context. If looking at a body makes you uncomfortable, that is on you to sort out and figure out. You should be able to be an adult and like look at a body and be like, yeah, that's a body, and just carry on. It shouldn't be uncomfortable. It doesn't have to be uncomfortable. Unless there is like sexual intent that you are not comfortable with, then it's not okay. But like, if there's not, then like, it's just a body. You know what I mean? Your house, do what you want. If he's uncomfortable with it, he can fuck off. And if your roommate's uncomfortable with it, she can also fuck off, really. I know it's her house too, but like, if it's not her that's uncomfortable, but her boyfriend. Am I the asshole for reacting badly to a friend gifting me a sex toy? It was my birthday a couple weeks ago, and I had a few friends over at my place to celebrate. I didn't really expect gifts, but a couple people brought one, including one of my male friends. I didn't really want to open them right now and make a whole show of it, but he insisted I open his. Imagine my surprise when I pulled a comically big dildo out of the bag. I was just stunned, and I could almost feel myself blushing. He said something about how I could now manage my crazy libido, something along those lines, and just started laughing like crazy. There was a few other awkward laughs around the room. I felt so fucking embarrassed, and the thing about my libido was just the cherry on top. My friends all know that my sexuality is a bit of a sore spot, mostly because I've been slut-shamed a lot ever since high school. Him literally handing me a sex toy and saying it was to control my crazy urges felt so fucking hurtful. I started tearing up and somehow gathered the confidence to tell him to leave. He looked surprised and confused, but he saw I meant it and he left. Obviously, the rest of the evening was pretty awkward after that. He texted me the next day to clear things up. He insisted that he meant it as a joke, and when I brought up the libido thing, he swore he didn't mean it that way. He argues I ruined the vibe by reacting badly to a stupid joke and made him feel like an idiot when I asked him to leave. Now I'm kind of wondering if I overreacted, if I read too far into the joke. I think totally fair, honestly. Like, you had every right to ask him to leave after that for making you uncomfortable. Like, if that is not an inside joke that like you all share, I just don't think that that's like a good thing to do. You know what I mean? Like, if that's not something you all comfortably talk about, then like it crosses a line. I don't think there's anything wrong with buying your friends like sex toys if that's the kind of relationship you have and that's the type of gift you give each other, that's chill. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But like, this is clearly not something that exists within your friendship. That's not something you talk about. It's not something you share. And getting it for you as like a joke and making you open it in front of all your friends and having it be like a comically large dildo, which seemingly is not something you've ever expressed interest in before, and making a joke about your libido, it's like, it's just exists purely to humiliate you. Despite what he said, I didn't mean it that way. How else could he have possibly meant it? Like, that just feels like major backtracking, because literally what else could he have meant? Like, if your sexuality is a sore spot and it's very much known that you've been slut-shamed and that it makes you uncomfortable and upset, the only reason it would exist and for him to do that is purely to poke fun at that. Which means he's ignoring a boundary of yours. That is a boundary that you've seemingly set, and he thought it would be funny to cross. And that pisses me off. Not the asshole. He, however, is an asshole. Because, like, you can't just be doing that. You can't be giving people gifts that will just humiliate them. You can't give someone a gift with the intention of everyone else laughing. You know what I mean? If this is something you are aware is a boundary or makes them uncomfortable, why would you do that? That's just such a shitty friend thing to do. And shit apology too. It's like, I didn't mean it that way. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Am I the asshole for taking advantage of my girlfriend? I feel like I'm about to get flamed, so throw away. I love going into this knowing people are going to call you an asshole. My girlfriend and I have been together for 3 years. Since we started dating, we have a tradition of paying for each other's dinner for our birthday. We don't have a limit on how much that meal would cost. My girlfriend doesn't drink. She, at most, has a mocktail or a sparkling water. I usually pay $100 to $150 for the two of us for her birthday dinner. My birthday was 2 days ago and we went out. I drink, which my girlfriend doesn't like and she thinks is a waste of money. But it's my birthday and she agreed to pay for everything. I had 8 drinks and a steak and dessert at a steakhouse. It cost about $200, and with her $70 meal, it came to $310 with tips. She didn't say anything at the time, but last night blew up at me for drinking so much money and expecting me to cover it. I defended myself because it was technically unlimited, and no, I wasn't drunk. I have a pretty high tolerance, so it's not fair I can't enjoy myself. She's pretty frugal, so she thinks it's a crazy amount, and I was an asshole for leaving her with this high of a bill. We agreed we would pay for each other's meals and drinks, and it's not my fault she doesn't normally get more than one drink, and it's non-alcoholic, so it's cheaper. But she has been ignoring me and refusing to talk it out. If she's that upset, I'll reimburse her for my portion, and then that's the end of our tradition. That is absolutely an asshole move. 8 drinks? You ordered 8 drinks while your girlfriend got none, and then we're just like, it's fine though because she'll cover the bill. Like, that is taking advantage of her a little bit. Like, would you order 8 drinks for yourself if you were paying? I doubt it. I have my doubts that you would normally order 8 drinks for yourself. And like, I don't think you'd be very happy if your girlfriend did either. She just doesn't drink, so you just had a good excuse for it. Also, surely you want to just enjoy that dinner with your girlfriend. I don't know why you'd want to drink 8 drinks. That is such a waste of money. 8 drinks at a steakhouse is like ridiculous. And it's ridiculous to me that you can't understand why your girlfriend would feel taken advantage of for that, or why that would upset her. Like, it seems like a very logical thing to be upset by. Going out and you spending $200 on your meal where hers is $70, and then not understanding why there might be some upset. It's not my fault she doesn't drink. Okay, but if she did drink, imagine how expensive that bill would have been then. You were drinking 8 drinks. If she bought a single alcoholic drink for herself, that bill would have been so expensive. If she matched you, that would have been over $400. Like, it's a bit ridiculous. It's a little bit ridiculous. And you are absolutely the asshole there because you did take advantage of the fact she was going to pay for all of it. And you knew she wasn't going to drink. And you took advantage of the fact that ooh. Am I the asshole for letting my kids disturb my husband during an important work meeting after he said he would handle them for a day to prove how easy my job is? Ooh, I'm intrigued by this one. I'm 31 female and my husband is 36 male. We have 2 boys, a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old. My husband works in an office and he has the option to work a few days a week from home, but he prefers not to because he says it's easier to focus in the office. I run a small business from home. I don't have a lot of daily work, just some emails and planning, maybe 3 hours a day. But the business does make about a third of our household income. My youngest son is home all day and just dealing with him takes a lot of energy. He's really high energy and will probably wreck something if you leave him alone for an hour. And then the older one comes home at 3 and both of them are usually with me until 8 or 9, which is when my husband usually comes home. That's so late to come home from work, isn't it? That seems really late. A few days ago, I was really tired and I didn't make dinner. When my husband came home, I asked him if we could just order something. He was also tired and we were both short-tempered, so we ended up snapping at each other. He said I should have at least ordered before he got home and he was hungry. I said I forgot and it's not fair that food is always my problem. He said that I'm home all day and I even admit I don't have much work to do, so I'm basically a stay-at-home mom and should at least take care of dinner. I said he has no idea how much I do every day, and he said he'd handle the kids for an entire day while also working from home just to prove it should be easy for me. I said sure, so we made the arrangements to work from home yesterday. I slept in and when I woke up he was already frazzled from getting the older one ready for school. He ended up having to cancel a meeting to make breakfast and was worried about that. Then when he took another meeting later on, the boys went out to play in the yard and got super muddy and left footprints all over the house, which he then had to mop, and I didn't help at all. By this point, I did feel sort of guilty because it was definitely harder for him to take care of work at the same time, but all I wanted was an apology. He said he was doing this to show I do nothing all day, and if he just admitted he was wrong, I would have helped out straight away. Later on, he had another meeting, but he told the boys not to bother him for an hour. But about 20 minutes in, they got into an argument about something and our younger one went into my husband's room to complain. He was really loud and my husband's video was also on. Then he told the kid to leave him alone, but he was upset and crying and wasn't listening. After a few minutes, my husband went back to the meeting and apologized to the other people. When it was finished, he was really angry at me. He said I could see what was happening and I just watched him struggle without helping. I said all you had to say was please help. He said I shouldn't be so petty and prideful. This probably made him look a bit stupid in front of his manager, but it was only a few minutes and I don't think it was the huge deal he made it out to be. I don't think you're the asshole in this situation. I think that you acknowledged that sure, he has more work to do, so it's harder to juggle. But again, like you said, he didn't ask for help. He just expected you to come in and help and do things without him ever expressing he was struggling. He just wanted you to read his mind and to step in and take over after he promised that he would do it. And he still didn't apologize either. Never in the story did he say, you're right, this is actually harder than I thought it would be. He never said that taking care of the kids is a difficult thing to do and that you do actually have an exhausting time of it at home looking after them. So he deserved it. Absolutely. And it is only a few minutes. If your kid embarrassed him in front of his boss, kids do that, part of the job of being a parent. He can get over it. He can get over it. I think that when people come in and insult mothers or parents who stay home and look after their kids being you don't do anything. It's shut up. They do though. Looking after kids is a difficult job, especially young kids. And some days you're just exhausted. Some days it's a lot. Some days you don't even have much to do at all and you can still be fucking tired. Some days just living is so exhausting. Small tasks one day feel like massive tasks the next. And I think that coming home and just yelling at you for not making dinner and then saying you have it easy it's just not a fair judgment to make. And I think it was totally valid. He made the promise. It's not your fault that he couldn't stick with the promise and then didn't even apologize when he struggled. He didn't even acknowledge that he was wrong to yell at you. Deserved. Am I the asshole for accepting money from my parents for my wedding and then eloping? My parents gave each of my brothers $50,000 when they graduated from university as a down payment on their home. When I graduated, they did not do the same for me. I asked about it and they said my husband should provide. I wasn't married. I still lived at home. 3 years later, when I met my husband, we dated for a year and then we got engaged. My parents were overjoyed. When we set a date, they gave me a check for $50,000 to pay for the wedding. What the fuck? I took the check and we eloped. We then used the check for a down payment on a house. My husband had a similar amount saved, so we were in a good spot with equity. My parents were furious that they didn't get a big wedding for all their friends and family to attend. They said they gave me the money for a wedding. My argument is that I got married and had leftover money. Accurate in my book. My brothers are on their side, so I'm here to ask if I am in the wrong. You're absolutely not in the wrong. Your brothers got $50,000 for a house and you got nothing because it's for your husband to provide. But they clearly were able to give you that money. And they gave it to you to get married? You just used the money for the house, which is what your brothers got the money for anyway. So like you literally didn't do anything wrong. You used the money how your brothers were able to use the money. And I think that's fair enough. Maybe they should have just given you the money when you graduated like they did for your brothers. You didn't ask for a big wedding. So like, it's on them. I think you're absolutely in the right here. So fucked up to be like, no, you don't get money for a house. That's for your husband to do. You don't buy your own house. Your husband provides for you. We're not going to help you with that. You stay at home until your husband can take care of you. But you immediately give your sons money to move out and buy a house and be independent. And like, very fair, very valid. I'm proud of you, actually. A very good decision. I support it entirely. Good job. I clap. This is the best thing to have done with the money, I think. Okay, I'm gonna do one last one, I think. Am I the asshole for telling my whole family that my sister anonymously posts slut-shaming comments on my Instagram pictures? I, 25 female, post a lot on Instagram. I get some slut-shaming comments here and there, but I always brush them off as trolls or bitter people. I was at a large family gathering Saturday night. My cousin, 16 female, and my sister, 28 female, were looking at Instagram on their phones. My cousin noticed that my sister had multiple accounts since she has a drop-down menu button next to her Instagram name at the top. She clicked on it and asked my sister what's alternate account username for. My sister looked flustered and said that her friend set that up on her phone for some reason. That Instagram set off alarm bells. I went to one of my Instagram posts to check the comments and my suspicion was confirmed. That account wrote so many slut-shaming comments on nearly every one of my pictures. Here are a few examples of the comments. Fuck you, slut. Ew, plastic everywhere. Water balloons on an emaciated girl. Lol. I'm sad and surprised about this because my sister has been nothing but supportive and complimented me all the time. I looked at my sister and she was looking tense. She didn't make any eye contact with me for several minutes. I was debating whether to out her in front of everyone or have a private conversation. I chose the latter. I asked if I could see her outside. She said she had to use the restroom right at that moment. I'm sure she was going to go in there and either delete those comments or the alternate account. So I resorted to outing her while there was still evidence. I asked her loudly why she wrote so many mean comments on my Instagram posts. She was hesitating big time and said her friend must have commented with that account. I seriously doubt it. I showed everyone some of the comments she wrote. I asked my cousin to confirm if that's the username she saw on my sister's phone. She confirmed. Everyone was enthralled in the drama. My mom asked my sister to tell us the truth, but my sister maintained her claim. I asked everyone who they thought really made those comments. About half the people agreed that the evidence pointed to my sister being guilty. The other half was silent. My sister called us all morons, stormed out the door, and drove away. This was in the main topic for the rest of the night. Everyone consoled me. It's been over a day and we still haven't heard anything from my sister. I didn't try to reach out. Mom and dad both tried to reach her to no avail. I think I might even cut her out of my life if I don't get a sincere apology. That's fucking so valid. Just cutting her out. It's wild to me that she's 28. Like, if it was the other way around and your cousin was 28 and your sister was 16, it still wouldn't be okay, but I would get it a little bit more because, like, you know, teenagers suck sometimes and I don't know what type of people she's around at school, etc. And it could have been easier to like rectify and discuss. 28 and going on your younger sister's Instagram and just slut shaming by making a troll account is fucking the most childish, ridiculous, upsetting thing ever. Like, for what purpose? It's seemingly, I can only think it comes out of like jealousy. Like, maybe she has a lot of insecurities about her own body and is like jealous that her sister doesn't, and her sister is confident and beautiful and posts her body, and so she resorts to like slut shaming you about it, which is not an excuse at all, obviously, but like, I just do not understand the level of pettiness and just shittiness of that. That would be so distressing and heartbreaking to hear. And I don't think you're the asshole for outing this in front of everyone, purely because, like, yeah, you tried to have a private conversation and she didn't want to because she was gonna go delete shit. So you tried and she kind of forced your hand. So not the asshole on that. She, however, is terrible. That's so being 28. Like, come on. Like, that is like, you've been an adult for 10 years at that point. Like, you have absolutely no excuse to be that petty and immature, especially to like your own fucking sister. What are you doing? What? Grow up. Holy shit. I'm so sorry that you had to find out that way. And that was happening at all. I hope your sister reflects on her actions and grows. And makes a formal, like, I hope she makes a sincere apology. I hope that you're able to work through this, but I also completely support never speaking to her ever again, or at least keeping your distance for a long time. She has a lot of reflecting to do. Slut shaming you on it, like making a whole Instagram account just to slut shame your sister is like next level. That's fucking, I'm so sorry that that is something that you went through, that you found out, but I'm glad you found out and we're able to get to the bottom of it. And I hope your sister reflects on her actions, because Jesus fucking Christ, oh my God. Anyway, I think that I'm gonna leave this one here. I hope that you have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I upload twice a week and I would love to see you again. A massive thank you to my Sprout and Above patrons whose names are up on the screen right now. I appreciate you greatly. And a huge thank you to my Kiwi Cat patrons: Bobby, Josh, Mandy, Ikazel, Jessica, Eldo, Danielle, Raven, Elias, Chris, Samuel, and Knitting Menace. I love and appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for joining. If anyone else would like to become a patron, go to patreon.com/SavvyCat or click the top link in the description. For as little as £1 a month, you get my videos a day early, as well as podcasts a week early. And then for £3 and up, you get things such as outtakes, bonus mini podcasts, live streams, vlogs, and more. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, The Queer Kiwi, and Twitter, That Queer Kiwi. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah.